What is up, Cobra Kai fans and everybody on my Instagram? Welcome back to the channel. So, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff that one of the creators of Cobra Kai, Hayden Schlossberg, has just said on Twitter. And we're going to go through the questions that he answered, and also there's quite a few things about season 6 that was asked in this Q&A, and we're going to just talk a lot about it. So, how's everybody doing? This just kind of feels weird being on Instagram and YouTube at the same time. It's like 'cause, StreamYard's got this new feature. What's up, Bryce Productions? Didn't you say what the YouTube name? The name? Are you talking about my first channel? Okay, so I'm just gonna get the tweets up so we can read them. How has everybody's Christmas been as well? I really wanna know if you all had a good Christmas and, um, so close to 2024, I still can't get over that. But yeah, so here we go. Let me zoom in on this. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you, Admin. I appreciate that. Nah, you're all good. How you doing? Um, StreamYard. StreamYard, Alistair. What's up, man? So I've got the tweets up from Hayden. And let's read them. So Hayden pretty much did this Q&A half drunk. He answered questions about Obliterated and Cobra Kai season 6. So yeah, we could start with because I already know what's been asked. We could start with let's start from the top. Okay, so this question by Melissa, who's a regular viewer, asked, since they're coming of age, will the kids arcs since they're coming of age, will the kids arcs be bigger than the adults arcs this season? AKA Johnny, Daniel, and the other adults that everyone's arc be very big in their own way. Hayden says everyone gets their moment in the spotlight. I mean, I think it's kind of obvious. Everyone's gonna get their shine. It's the last season, so I think literally every character will, especially the guys that were in it from season 1. And remember, this is a season that's probably gonna focus a lot more on Johnny and Kreese and the guys that started the show off. So, the youngsters, I think they're gonna be obviously equally important, but, Miguel, Robbie, Sam, and Tori are gonna be the core 4, and Eli Dimitri part of that too. But yeah, next question. Will we be learning more history about Miyagi-Do or just the history of Master Kim and the Way of the Fist, AKA? You will learn more about everyone's past, present, and future. See, that's quite an interesting, uh, thing that said, Hayden said there, 'cause it's something that we kind of know that we're gonna see more backstory in The Way of the Fist. So there's that. Hilary Swank returning for season 6? Well, we've got no confirmation, but I do want her to appear. I think she'd be a great cameo, and Hilary Swank would I think she gives a little bit more to this universe if she returns. Uh, it was a good thing about the next Karate Kid movie. She's a good character. Bryce, thank you so much for donation. Can you make a Marvel YouTube channel and call it Marvel Nation? I mean, technically, I already have one called Marvel Nation. I barely posted on there though. So it's kind of conflicted on the Marvel channel. You see, I love Marvel, but then I wanted to cover like cinema as a whole. So my first channel, Shmim Reacts, I'm actually in the midst of rebranding that again. But that Marvel channel, I don't know if I'm gonna post on there now because I would already cover Marvel on that pop culture channel. Um, but that's as of now, so we'll see. Julie Pistons to Kim Newman, biggest battles, huge cat fight. I mean, it wouldn't be a cat fight because these guys actually in martial arts. It would be pretty gnarly though. Do you think they will show Johnny's fatherly redemption arc through the baby being born? Oh, 100%. I mean, he's already on that fatherly redemption arc through Miguel because he screwed up with Robbie. So Johnny, as much as I love Johnny, the one flaw with him is the way he's been with Robbie from the beginning, and he's realized this, and he just needs to make sure that he balances the love he has for Miguel and Robbie, and not to forget that Robbie is his biological son. Um, but it's not a pick and choosing thing now. It's about equal treatment with those guys. Um, but yeah, that baby being born is a new beginning. It's a new era with him and the kids, and tying in both of his sons in a sense. Because he's like a surrogate father to Miguel, but then he's a biological father to Robbie. Do you like football? Yes, I do. I just watched Chelsea for now. So on this other question that Melissa asked, I mean, I really want to see Kim Dae-eun's grandfather in flashbacks, which I'm assuming we will get. But I also want to see more about her father because we know about her grandfather. We don't know anything about her father, and I do have my theories on the actor C.S. Lee. I believe he's called Chris. He's playing Sensei Kim Sung Young in the grandfather of Kim Dae-eun. But what if he's also playing the father of I mean, it would make sense, right? It would make a lot more sense if he plays the father as well in present day. Um, so yeah, I'm just kinda curious on really. And I think, one thing I do wanna see is, um, just more understanding on, did Miyagi ever actually know about Master Kim, or did he, like 'cause a Chosen and Sato knew about him, but Miyagi left. I think Miyagi left Okinawa at that point. But yeah, I wanna know more about the Miyagi Do as well. I really wanna know more about that side of things, especially with the new Karate Kid film coming out. Just curious what they'll do. What episode will we learn the new dojo name in? Um, season 6, episode 1. Apparently, we're gonna find out the dojo name in the first episode of season 6, which is good news. And I think it's also important just to get that out of the way because I don't think they should focus that throughout the season. That should just be like, "Look, we're at the start of the new season. The guys are all together now, even maybe the students from Silver's Cobra Kai. They're gonna come to terms with that one dojo name." If it's Miyagi Fang, I guess we'll see, but it's kind of 50-50 right now. Will the Sekai Tekai this is a good question. Will the Sekai Tekai require team leaders from each dojo? Yes. I don't think the Sekai Tekai is gonna be what people are thinking. I think it's gonna be much more different. Uh, it just doesn't feel like we're getting the same tournament again. It's a world tournament, so it's just one of those things. By the way, I'm trying to keep up with seeing, any messages on the Instagram Live because 'cause I'm literally just trying this. It's like my first time trying this out. I don't know how it looks on your end, so I don't know if there's an interference issue, whatever. Uh, I don't even know if I can highlight your comments on it. Oops. I think I might have accidentally oh, well. I think we're off on Instagram now. Um, yeah, I think with the tournament, it's gotta be different. So, that's good. That's gonna be that. This is an important one that I did a video on earlier on. If filming starts early 2024, will we get a late 24 debut? And Hayden said we're trying to get it out ASAP. Based on that, I think based on this information, it's most likely that we are going to see um season 6 come out either the earliest I can see it coming out is December 2024, or it will be literally early 2025 because I just don't want this rushed. Do I think Miguel's dad will come back? Definitely, yeah. I think he will. I think we're gonna see him. I just don't think the whole thing with the bag is gonna just be left there for no reason. You know, the big three have shown that in Cobra Kai when they do something like that, there's a reason to it. Because I'm gonna be honest, Hector could bring out so much chaos in the next season other than the tournament, and I think that he could bring something out of the characters to bring them full circle to round off the series if you catch my drift. As DJ Club said, Hector versus Johnny. So I think he'll return. Plus, he was a great character. I mean, I did interview the actor who played Hector, um, Luis Roberto Guzman, and he said that he only was he was only there for season 5, but if he could come back for season 6, he would love to. Um, and he's also learning a lot about, you know, he's really brushed up on his English because he was saying that playing the role of Hector, he had to speak English, so that was a big part of it. Um, CKW, what's up, man? Okay, I have to bring this. And one, I'm very glad you brought this up. This is definitely not happening. I mean, why would they go 6 seasons of Amanda revealing to be Terry Silver's daughter? And also, she's not that far off Silver's age, so how would that also work? Like, it just doesn't seem right. Just doesn't seem right to me. Um, but yeah, I think I don't know who made that theory, but it just doesn't. It was never a smart one, if I'm honest. Bryce, thank you for the donation. Which do you like more, Cobra Kai or Marvel? Hmm. Okay, I'll put it this way. Marvel's like, if we're talking Marvel as a whole, comics, games, um, films, MCU, pre-MCU, and then all the content we have, I have to pick Marvel in that sense. But Cobra Kai is part of the Karate Kid. I love the Karate Kid. It's childhood. So is Marvel. That's so difficult, though. I mean, I will say, in terms of shows, I would take Cobra Kai over any Marvel show. Like, I'm genuinely serious. Maybe Daredevil. If we throw that in there, you're making my life harder then. But in terms of shows, Cobra Kai. But in terms of like just universe, um, see, I loved the Karate Kid growing up, Marvel growing up. They both came full circle with like the MCU, and then with Cobra Kai it was another full circle moment with, you know, with the Karate Kid franchise. So I think I can't really choose. I like them. I love them both equally. I think Cobra Kai, based on the last few years with the show, um, the last 4 years of the show, 5 years of the show, like impacting me like how it has. It's impacted me in so many different ways. So I think it's uh if I have to pick it based on that, I might have to go with that. Um and yeah, that's like another good point, CKW. Like Silver doesn't have any kids. Plus the whole Daniel finding out that Amanda's related to Terry Silver would be the stupidest thing. I'm sorry. They can't be doing that. All right, let's focus on the other parts of the Q&A. There was a question here from Paul Weinstein Moss. In the season 4, love the Def Leppard song Switch 65. That was such a tune, by the way. We made a decision to pick that song from High and Dry album we all played to I editor Zach Arnold. That honestly was one of the coolest ends to a season. With the way Chosen goes, Yosh! Badass. Any chance the kids remaining from what was Silver's Cobra Kai drawn up with Miyagi Fang? Aye, good chance. I mean, Kenny and Devon were part of Silver's Cobra Kai, so if anybody is joining from that, it's got to be those guys. Uh, Kyla and Mitch and those guys, I don't know what's going to happen with them. I can imagine them being around, but I just don't know if they're going to have a lot of focus, especially with all the students they're going to have in this combined dojo. Uh, it's a lot of students there together now, so it's pretty crazy. I think that's like self-explanatory, really. Um, This is another thing Hayden said that I forgot to mention earlier on about season 6 release date. Can we expect a 2024 release and will the last episode be long? Hayden said that is the goal, and yes. So they're aiming for 2024. That's what he's saying. So December is a big chance. And then with, you know, season 6, if they do 2 volumes or 2 parts, as I've been saying for a long time, perhaps the first part comes out in December, because this will come out. I think this is gonna come out after the Karate Kid movie, because the Karate Kid film is out on the 13th December, I believe. Uh, I don't think this season is gonna be out on the 13th or maybe December 19th, but don't know if that falls on a Friday. But anyway, I think we're gonna get that like at the end of December, like season 4 release date. I wouldn't mind if they made it a New Year's Eve release date. I really wouldn't. Especially if it's the first part. Uh, but yeah, January. I'm not fussed for January either. How many episodes in season 6? So Hayden said 10. Talking about episodes, CKW. Hayden said 10 episodes, but the total runtime for the full season will be the longest. See, I'm still wary if this means we're gonna get more than 10 episodes, or is Hayden hiding this? Because apparently we're getting more than 10. Uh, I mean, if Hayden was here right now and he could clarify, that'd be great. But yeah, total runtime increases every season. That's something we all know. So that's great. Um, yeah, I really hope they do as well. There's a chance they'll release season 6 at once, even though I don't want that to happen. I mean, they always release Cobra Kai in one go with all the episodes. But for once, I would love them to do weekly episodes, especially if each episode is like 50 minutes long. I mean, I just want them to spread this show out and let let it run like cable TV for like, a good few weeks rather than like everyone binging it in once. But that's the Netflix model, and that's how they wanted to go about the show. Yeah, I think people have got to be aware of this. Hayden is a big troll. It would be quite interesting if they, um, I think it'd be quite interesting if we do get more than 10 episodes, but I'm not going to be surprised if Hayden's just trolling everybody, especially because he's just having Hayden was half drunk on this during this Q&A, so you got to remember that. I reckon that the episode will be between 1 and 2 hours long. You think every episode? I mean, I would love an hour minimum. That would be incredible. ALT Cookie Ram, what's up? What's your take on what's going to happen throughout the episodes of season 6 Cobra Kai? Well, they're going to have the run up to the Sekai Takai. I'm sure we're going to see some sort of moments between uh like there's going to be a lot of qualifying parts for the Sekai Takai. Depending on how they structure it, we'll probably see a few the tournament running over a few episodes rather than just like 2 episodes. Uh, and I think they're gonna wrap up a lot of arcs. I think there's gonna be a lot of Johnny Cree stuff next season. I think we'll get more character development on the young characters that like Miguel Robbie, Sam Torre. Like there'll be more moments with them to give them more character development and these new dynamics that we haven't seen yet. We need to have that put into context with the future of the characters and and just what we can expect to see them, or where we can expect to see their characters go after the show ends. Even though no character's journey is over, it's more like just showing them where it's going. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear on that end. I also think we need to get a lot more um finalized finalized like conclusion on Daniel and Johnny and what they do with the karate dojos, because do they sort of retire and they let like the youngsters sort of take over as senseis, and they sort of still teach but not as much because they want to give it to the next generation of karate students. um they might just want to focus on family and other things. So it could just be Daniel focuses more on the dealership. Johnny goes back to what he was doing prior to opening Cobra Kai. Um, I guess we'll see how they conclude it. But yeah, there's going to be so many character moments. I just really want to see. I want to see like really interesting preparation for the Sekai Toka, like the training. I want them to go to Okinawa. I want the students that we haven't seen interact. I really want to see some moments with the like Sam and Anthony training together, Miguel and Robbie training together, Sam and Tori training together, Sam and Tori having conversations. Miguel and Robbie talking about. I want them to have a heartfelt conversation on now that they're brothers, like just reflecting on the past 5 seasons or 6 seasons of Cobra Kai and how things have gone. There's so much I want to happen and some badass fight scenes. Um, what's up, Alterna? Do you think the big three have took the time to revise and probably flush out the story of season 6? I mean, they've been thinking of the ending for so long now. It's just a matter of how they were going to get there. Now they know how they're going to get there. Um, they've definitely. I have so much faith in the creators. I always say this as well. I know that. I just know they have taken the time to revise and properly flush out the story for season 6. It's the biggest season, the baddest season. It's gonna be the most badass season yet. And to finalize this series, you need the biggest season. And I'm sure the creators of Cobra Kai are gonna do that because this is more important than how you start. It's not just how you start; it's how you finish. That's something I think that's one of the characters said in Cobra Kai. So it's interesting. You mean filming? They're gonna resume filming literally next week. Start of January. What's up, JG Gibson? That's actually a interesting question and a good one. I think we might get a slight time jump, but maybe episode 1 just happens right after the season 5 finale. I'm guessing it will happen over a day, but then the second episode there could be like a few weeks of a time jump, which will be kind of interesting. Maybe Bobby has a conversation with Daniel. Apologizing about correct keep on words. You know what? That would be a missed opportunity if they don't have a conversation. I think. I also believe Bobby would be a really useful character for season 6, especially if they want to like really toughen up these students. I know they've got Johnny, Chosen, and Daniel, but even if they bring in Mike, he can give a lot um to all this other stuff. Oops. Oh, definitely. Miyagi spin-off. I wouldn't mind seeing a spin-off that focuses on Miguel and Robbie and Sam and Tori. Eli and Dimitri at college. Uh, I Kreese and Silver during Vietnam would be cool, but we kind of already got a lot of that in the show. I mean, that's just called Cobra Kai because it really focuses on them as well. Mm, yeah, I mean, just one set in present time right after the show, and then one set in the past. Miyagi prequel is probably the top one for me, though. I really want to see that. Do you think we're going to see the Enter Dragon location for the tournament? Oh, that would be nuts. I wouldn't be surprised if they do go on an island for the Sekai Takai for the final, or like certain qualifying fights when they're at the actual tournament. That'd be quite interesting. Or maybe they'll do that sort of thing when they get deeper into the tournament. Strike First Media, what's up, Cody? Status report on the ATL vlog, Sham, that people need to know. Well, I'm just gonna put it this way. I am dropping the ATL vlog soon, as like a New Year's special. Um, I really wanted to post it earlier this year, but it just seems to be like I had issues with it. And then quite frankly, I just had so much going on, so it's like I kind of put it to a side for other content as well. Um, but yeah, I probably should have uploaded stuff separately first and then do the big one, big video. But yeah, um, no, this made me laugh when Hayden said San Francisco because the guy, come on, people must know by now that they must know by now that the show is mainly filmed in Atlanta. Um, any other? I think that might be all the questions. Yes, I believe that's all the questions, guys. Stripe First Media. That was funny. Hayden was trolling. Yeah, I don't think there was any other questions. I think that was it. Um, Hayden asked a I mean, people asked him Hayden a bunch of questions, but he didn't answer anymore. So that is it for the Q&A. So that is all that Hayden answered pretty much. Um, so we could just generally talk about your questions now. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. RJ, wherever you are, mate, drop that season 5 review. To me, that sounds a bit too cliche. I just don't think I think he's gonna put Cobra Kai to bed pretty much. I think he'll fully move on from it because uh Cobra Kai isn't he's gonna evolve from it, you know. But it's quite interesting. Bum, 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 bum. Happy 2024 to everyone. It's almost here, Emmanuel. It's almost here. How about the Sakataka files in the castle and Crikey 2? Oh, you mean like that kind of setting? That would be pretty badass. I mean, I would love to see some cool stuff like that. Um, um, now that Strike's over and Big Three have a bigger budget, do you think we'll get better fight choreography this season? I'm sure a lot of people were gonna say the same with this, but I'm expecting the fight choreography for season 6 to be the best it's ever been because it's the biggest and most craziest season. And season 5 had some crazy fights. Um, and then season 4 did. It's like every season the fights get crazier and more interesting. So I honestly think we'll get something even crazier. And we're getting 2 mega fights in the first episode. Still unsure what those fights will be, but I want to know if it's with the teens or with just the adults. Like I asked Hayden this question, but he didn't answer it. Um, that's one of the big plots, I think. If they're in Japan and Carmen gives birth to the baby during that time, is Johnny gonna abandon everything in the tournament and just go? Because he can't miss this baby this time. Uh, Most likely the kid is going to be born before they fly out for the tournament, so we'll see. I agree. They really do, bro. They really do. Like, I just want them to fully promote Cobra Kai properly. Um, that's all I ask. Uh, that's just all I ask, pretty much. It's not even like a big ask when you think about it. It's like something they should do anyway, you know. Um, I just think season 3 and 4 had the best marketing. Season 5, arguably the best season we've ever had the worst marketing, which was a shame. Just there's a part of me that has been saying a lot recently, and it feels that season 5 should have just been released in December, so it gave them more time to market it. But I think it was Netflix that was rushing the creators to release it in September rather than push it to December. Because it also would have given them time to do that. And then the wait for season 6 wouldn't have felt so long because season 5 would have been released a bit later. Um, but yeah, you think we can in-depth look at the proper clothes to the chosen? And do you mean Kumiko, Muriko, Kumiko? If you meant Kumiko, I'm actually curious about that. Like, I won't be surprised if they get together like fully. Because Chosen really likes her. Um, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be insane. I cannot wait to see it. I cannot wait. Yeah, I thought so, bro. Yeah, that's actually a good question. I mean, I think Chosen and Kumiko hopefully we'll see they're clearly like gonna be a couple and they're gonna go from that pretty much. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get some sort of closure on that. And just go from there, I suppose. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there, guys. So thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna make separate videos to talk more about some of the questions that Hayden answered, and we can go into more detail about the release date. And obviously, Hayden's made that very clear that that's the case. Um, that they're aiming for 2024, but I do think the other stuff he said was quite interesting. The 10 episodes, I think we're still gonna get more than 10. He didn't say we're just getting 10, if I remember what he said rightly in that tweet. So we will see. Uh, yeah. thank you guys again for tuning in. Um, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe right now and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any of my live streams on Cobra Kai. There's going to be a lot more content coming up this week. Happy holidays. I hope you all had a great Christmas. We've got New Year's along the way in the next few days, and let's start 2024 right. No mercy.